tea time, and this time tea is at the Cityline studio, but I'm not. If you've been watching the show this week, you know I'm at home isolating as my son is recovering from COVID. So, T, we're going to have to do this chat apart, hopefully for the last time. And today we're talking about a clip of Kim Kardashian. We've talked about Kim Kardashian on the show before. This is about a clip that made waves online a few weeks ago from her interview with Variety magazine. Check it out.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
I'm sorry, who is she speaking to there? I mean, all of the women I know work very hard. So that is Kim Kardashian's secret to success. I know we're a little late weighing in on this, but I think it is still worth discussing because the issue here is not that we doubt that Kim works hard. Of course she works hard. It's about her starting point, being leaps and bounds ahead of most people. Jamila Jamil, who always has hot takes on these things, made a really good point about this. She said people like the Kardashians, and I quote, shouldn't be asked about their secret to success. There is no secret. I mean, that was me jumping in there. They shouldn't answer those questions. It's all obvious to everyone, and I hope nobody holds themselves to the standards of people who were raised by millionaires. Can I get an amen, T, or do you disagree?
Amen. I totally disagree. I think that they definitely work hard. They definitely do. I don't think anybody would argue that. You don't get to the level of success that they're at without working hard. It's just the fact that I think people have a problem with the Kardashians because they continuously leave out their privilege when they're talking about how they arrived where they arrived. And it also goes on, like, it also plays into their beauty standards as well. I think people have an issue with that as well. It all ties in. They act like this is how I naturally look pretty. This is how I got to success. And they're leaving out all the other steps that they took or like shortcuts. And it is a shortcut being born rich. You have resources that other people don't have. Like, I know she started off as a stylist, but I think she started off as a stylist to Brandy. Like, that right there tells you, you know, like how, and that's how much she met Ray J. But that's like that right there tells you how, what even her starting point was very different than like what mine would be, or yours would be, or anybody else would be. Someone who lives in a trailer park, somebody who lives in a ghetto, someone who lives in somewhere smaller income area, and one has the same dream. They're not starting at the same level as she's starting, and she leaves that out when she says, just work hard. That's what I think that family continues to be tone deaf and not realize that their privilege has so much to do with that. Basically, they're starting on third base. Do you know what I mean? They just have to run home. The rest of us are starting at home, and we have to get our way all the way around the diamond. Do you know what I mean? I think a really good conversation I saw on this show, you and Carlin were talking about equity versus equality. And that was a really good conversation because you guys really showed visually what it looks like if you give everybody the exact same podium to stand on. But not everybody is still going to be able to see over the fence. It was a really good visual because I think that's what this all plays into. She has, even though we could give 5 people $10 million, $10,000, if they're starting at different places, they're not all going to necessarily reach the same place, right? And you don't have the same resources. The fact that Kylie, again, like people say she's a self-starter. I don't think she was a self-starter. She's starting at a place where she has privilege. She got in doors that her mother got her into doors. I don't think they've ever heard no. Like the rest of us, if we had a lipstick line, we'd have to go in there, pitch it. We would hear no over and over and over again before we ever got where we were getting. So I'm not saying people can't reach their level of success, but we have a lot more of a ways to go. So to tell people to just work hard is really, really tone deaf.
She's got a very rich mother who is an incredibly high-profile agent. She's incredibly connected. All of her friends and family members are in some way connected to Hollywood or celebrities or have access and power and resources. So I think it's interesting. I feel like we're in a time where almost anyone can say they are an expert in anything, which is interesting. I don't necessarily buy it. I don't think that because you're making millions of dollars and you have great lines, to me, it doesn't mean that you're an expert. But I'm actually even going to take this beyond Kim K and say this whole idea of hustle culture, this whole idea of people should work more. You know, there's 24 hours we all have the same 24 hours in the day. If I hear that one more time, I'm not Beyonce. I'm not doing Coachella.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a routine where I fall down and get back up and keep dancing. That, like, my litmus test is very different than Beyonce's.
Yeah.
So stop telling me to work. Like, if we're even just talking about that message, stop telling me to work. There are a lot of people out there who are working very hard and getting nowhere. They're spinning in circles. And I think a lot of us have realized during the pandemic that the jig is up. Like, work less, actually. How can I work less? How can I work smarter? How can I not be, like, frazzled at the end of the week so that I don't have any time and energy left for my life or my kids or my partner? Like, that, like, the whole hustle mentality, I'm kind of over it for 2022. So that whole message, I feel like, needs to go away. I think there are a lot of big voices in social media that are keeping up with this hustle thing. And I think a lot of us have realized that that's actually not a way to get a great quality of life. And if one more person or one more meme says that, the reason you're not getting ahead is because you're not spending the amount of time you should be spending on your passion, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to work, and I know that I'm throwing down every day. Most people I know don't want to be working, but we are throwing down every day. Most people I know are working very hard. So it's just completely tone deaf, I think, of Kim K. I agree with you 1000%, T, when it's like she will not mention her privilege ever. And I mean, not even just privilege with money, but privilege with a fake bum. Like, just tell me the bum is fake so that you can have the credibility to sit in this space and actually give advice about anything. If you're lying about one thing, it's very difficult to trust your advice in general. So that whole thing with the privilege, I agree 1000%. And then the other side of it is, can we stop telling people to work harder? Yeah. Like, can we ease off of that? There are folks that are in it that have been born into poverty and have been working their whole life and haven't gotten anywhere because they can't get past the system. Will not allow them to get past that poverty. That's not their
I just
fault.
want to jump on top of what you're saying there, T. Also, just to take it even one step further with Kim, Kim is also on this whole, I want to be a lawyer and I want to help people get out of prison. She's helping people because she realizes the injustices that and the racism that is built into the system. So how can she leave all of that out when she's also talking about her privilege? Like, when people, you have to take the economical privilege, that's a bag that other people have to carry, that she doesn't have to carry. The color of their skin, their culture, our language barriers, there's all these things, these bags that other people are carrying while they have to run, and she's not carrying any of this stuff. So again, she can tell people to work hard, and I agree with working hard. No one will say you're going to get where you want in life by not working hard. Working hard is a great piece of advice, but don't leave out the fact that if someone has a different skin color than you, someone comes from a different economical background than you, somebody has a language barrier, someone coming to that country and doesn't speak English, they have a different language barrier than her. Like, there's just so many other things that she's leaving out, and she's oversimplifying it just by saying work hard. She should know better with all the work that she's doing with prison reform. She should understand that there's more to life than just working hard. It's not that simple.
And I hope she's realized that after all of the comments that have come after that statement. And I hope the folks that are telling everybody to work, because you and I, we say it all the time, T, when we were younger and we were interns, it's like, yes, we will do all the work for free. I'll be the best toilet cleaner you've ever seen. I will fix that photocopier machine. Like, I do believe in hard work. What I don't believe in is putting blinders on and thinking that if everyone works the same amount, we're all going to get to the same place. It's not true.
No.
I know the privilege that took for me to get here, and I see the folks that have it, that have extra, and the folks that do not and cannot possibly get to a place where they are the Kim K in their community or their country. So I really hope she learns from that, because she has a big platform and there's young women listening to her, right? So be responsible with your words. T, thank you so much for that. It was a good chat again.